WTF? What's WTF?
Where's the foil? Where's the foil?
Now you might think, Shinji, why are you milking One Punch Man Season 3? I mean, you've made like 1, 2... Oh wait, that's it? One Punch Man Season 3 has nothing to talk about. Why am I even making this video? Well, I haven't talked about the newest trailer that was 2 months ago. With 4 months to go, we still haven't gotten any real footage from the actual Season 3. All of the trailers have been pre-animated and animated by one person. Of course, most of you know that the first trailer slash PV was animated by Kenichiro Aoki himself, and the newest one is by Kazunori Ozawa. I'll get more in depth on this one since I haven't talked about it. Kazunori Ozawa is an animator that just goes everywhere. Literally everywhere. Most of the time only contributing little stuff like animating effects or just effects animation directing. He has very good connections with JC.STAFF. His latest work with them is 2.5D, and his most contribution recently for the studio is 7 Bladers. But more importantly to note, Ozawa is mainly an effects animator, not saying he can't do anything else. That would be stupid for someone to join the industry that can just only draw effects. Ozawa also supervised the first trailer that Aoki animated, and Ozawa animated the whole second PV. He was asked to make a PV for some weird reason. And yeah, the final product was not the best looking thing compared to the first one. It was still frames, Child Emperor looking like he has that TikTok filter where you have to like blink to stop from falling down. King's Walk like in-betweenings, like when Rin and Shido was fighting in that one episode. I mean, this is what happens when you get a guy who specializes in effects to animate character-focused stuff, and he probably got rushed to finish it. It is crazy how bad One Punch Man Season 3 looks, and I'm not talking about the trailer and shit. These trailers are not gonna correlate to how the season will look. I mean, if you look a bit closely, the second one visually looks a bit different compared to the first one because Ozawa probably directed it too. It's pretty bleak how involved Ozawa was for the second one. Did he only do animation or did he actually directed it? My guess that he also directed it. Solo key animation episodes can feel a bit different depending on who's doing who. Take Soul Leveling Season 2 Episode 7, solo key animated by Mitsuaki Hori, but it still looked like Solo Leveling because there's other animation directors and chief ADs that corrects them to make them look like the design sheet. A different one is with Witch Watch Episode 6. If you've watched it, it looks different design-wise compared to any of the episodes because Oshima didn't just solo key animated it, she also directed the episode and animation directed it herself. She was given full range to make her raw drawing style on display because there's no other ADs beside her. Or it can be like Episode 9 of Debate, solo key animation by the outsourced studio. The marketing for the show is not really good. The lack of information or even visuals for the show is non-existent basically, forcing out pre-animated trailers twice. The key visual looks horrible. It really looks like the hero visuals all zoomed out, add a background and slap all the heroes there. Nice. JC.STAFF is known to pick up a lot of projects, and the team that's probably going to pick it up is the same team that did Season 2. Being Atsushi Fujishiro. His last anime job is 7 Bladers, which aired in summer 2023, so the team is not doing anything right. Right? No, Anilist just doesn't update their shit. Fujishiro was animated for 2.5D Magi Rumiere, although that was a co-production between JC.STAFF and Studio Moe. They also did the CG for Season 2 OPM. And also with a show that's currently airing right now, Boy Girl Friendship, so they are still being a sussy little baka. Even if you disregard the different teams in JC.STAFF, most of their work is reliant on their in-house staff. So if they pick up a lot of projects, then there's gonna be a lot of overlapping. They can do it if you give them an appropriate amount of time, but they didn't have that for Season 2. Again, JC.STAFF only had 6 months to produce Season 2.
But Shinji, that's impossible. Soul Leveling had 10 to 12 months to animate an episode.
Of course, if you take that at face value, you're not gonna understand the full picture. Fucking retard. Samuel Dietz explained it a bit more. He's the director for Castlevania, if you didn't know. Another concern that most people have is they haven't announced who is the director. One of the most important person for an anime on how a show will visually look. And I will say this, I'm 90% sure they are hiding the director. Why? your mom. Because the most evident thing is the new additions for the character designers. There's 2 new people in that role that also drew the hero visuals. And Chikashi Kubota, I don't know if he will actually participate. We hope. But here's the deal. When making a team from scratch, the animation producer picks who's doing who, and the first person you should choose is the director, because again, they are the one that is in control on how the show will look. It's up to them if they want to be experimental with the visuals or not. It's also how good they are executing the style. I think they are not revealing it for reasons. One being maybe they want to hide it because Twitter tards will say dumbass shit to them because that happened in season 2. Or 2, I don't know. It could be the same director from season 2, or it can be Shingo Natsume. I don't know. Although he hasn't worked on anything in like 3 years. Maybe. I mean, people are saying that he's working on something, but don't get your hopes up. Season 1 was an amalgamation of the top animators and directors working on one project, so have your expectations low. I'm not saying it's impossible, but considering it's JC.STAFF, it's not gonna be as good as One Punch Man Season 1. Yes, there are better looking shows than OPM Season 1, but most of them got handicapped because of the terrible scheduling. And also, it's just that a lot of talent now are scattered across working on their own shit. But another positive in the industry currently is the more worldwide talent, I guess you can say. There has been a surge of non-Japanese animators making a name for themselves, even some that is considered to be the best animator ever, William Zhang, but that's other people's opinion. There's more talent to be had in today's age, but of course there's negatives and positives to it. The obvious negative is the lack of training that these new animators have. They don't even understand the fundamentals. That also leads to more work for people like the animation directors, or even animation producers and production assistant. It's really hard to keep track considering there's more than 100-200 people working on an episode. So if some animators are not working in the building or somewhere near that, you have to stay in contact with multiple people if they're done with their work or not. And it's even worse if there's more people in an episode because they need to rush it, so more people are involved. There is positives like One Piece, where these new young talent get to showcase what they can do, or even like ReZero Season 3. Not in the same way as One Piece. Season 3 had a big gap between Season 1 and 2. It's just how the industry changed that people like Vincent Chanzard, Hamil, Waters, Hoodie Boy can work on Season 3 because that's just how the industry flow nowadays. Very reliant on Twitter animators. Unlike Season 1, which had more quote-unquote well-known animators in Japan like Hiroyuki Takashima, Hironori Tanaka, Kota Sugawa, Koyoshinari. Of course, there's more to it with the studio, like with the whole White Fox collaborating with Egg Firm to make Studio Mine, and some of the animators I just mentioned went there too. Or another factor like Tsunaki Yoshikawa, who animation produced some of the more well-known shows in White Fox. I'm talking about ReZero 2, also left White Fox to establish his own studio, Atelier Pont Dark, where also some of the talent got attracted to work on his show, like Isekai Oji-san. It is really worrying the amount of news we have for One Punch Man Season 3 is non-existent. Besides Viz acquiring OPM Season 3, I don't know what that means, considering it's gonna air in 4 months. I really hope they delay it to like early 2026. I mean, that's not enough time, but it's something. There's going to be a booth for One Punch Man in Anime Expo 2025, so maybe we'll get more information or an actual trailer in early July. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what your thoughts on the current situation for One Punch Man Season 3. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.